The bottom of the deck, we see Three of Earth. Three of Earth is about using your creative energy to create something with somebody, right? This can be you working with supervisors and partners at work to create something. This can be collaboration, cooperation, manifestation. Manifestation. You know, we see here this beautiful butterfly in the card, but we realize it used to be some kind of a caterpillar, right? Or a worm, more or less. And it goes through a lot of changes, different stages, different phases, you know, in the life of a butterfly. But here we have something beautiful that came from it, but it took a lot of work to get to that point. And that's you being industrious and taking care to make things happen. So clearly you're manifesting really wonderful things. This can also indicate that you're being recognized by others. So you're receiving maybe some recognition for hard work and for the things that you're doing. Now, this is the energy that you're operating in right now. In life experience, I hate to use the T word here. It's kind of comparable to the Tower. It's really about an indication of some serious change that needs to be made in your life. Right? Maybe having the powerful revelation that's going to lead you to make some kind of a change. This is about identifying a truth. Something's coming in. Some information is coming in for you. This has not been an easy experience, and you have been struggling on some level, internally especially. But there is help. Reach out to your divine source. Reach out to your helpers. Your angels and spirit guides, friends and helpers, your earthly friends and helpers as well. The people that you can lean on for support as you make some life changes. One thing about the 16, the life experience card, is that if we don't volunteer to make the changes, life will do it for us. It's sort of like when we're at an uncomfortable work situation, we know we either have to quit or we're going to be quitted. Right? We're going to be fired. So we have the choice. Do we want to go out on our own steam, or do we want to be forced out, you know, with our box, our office, our desk, our office supplies inside of our box, with security at our elbow. The Eight of Air, this is crossing you. So even as you're going through this, you're either aware of a transformation, what is being thrust upon you, either suddenly or you've been building up to this point for a while. This is about an illusion of being trapped. You may feel like because this change is being forced on you, or because it's happening so fast, you don't want it, and that you don't have any options right now. That is most likely the anxiety that we associate with this card, the Eight of Air. Not having self-confidence in something, a fear of taking action. Because this is emotionally powerful for you does not mean that you have to sit in this energy, though. It's very hard when we're in a highly emotional state to think logically. It seems like we have one or the other. We have to dial down the emotion to get back into our logical place where we can see the solutions. It's very, very hard to do alone. So again, reach out to your help and your support persons, or your angels. Pray, right? Pray for assistance, guidance, wisdom, to know what your best steps should be. Now, one thing you've been thinking about is this fast energy that's been coming in, right? This possibly could represent a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius person. Maybe somebody who cut you out of firing. Maybe you're concerned that that's going to happen, or maybe you're thinking about that or processing what has happened. Review your options and think creatively for solutions. Think outside the box. If this is work related, sometimes we gotta get that MIC job before we can get back onto our career path. That we can have the time to put out our resumes and, you know, build that up, get ourselves back where we want to be. Don't panic here. Interestingly, we have a little bit of conflicting messaging over here in that the basis of this is some kind of a victory. Now, my guess is because of the anxiety that I'm seeing in these other cards, because of the shakeup, it could be that somebody else is victorious. Maybe somebody else got the contract that you didn't get. This tends to be public recognition or awards. It could be that somebody else stole your idea, or that you worked on a project and then it wasn't picked up and you didn't get the funding for that and you had to move on. Then again, this could be a retirement. So maybe that's the shakeup too. Life experience doesn't always have to be something that's really negative. It could be that you've chosen to retire or resign from a position. You knew it was time to do that, but you still may be having some lingering doubts and some fears about it. This card would indicate that you were lauded. So again, I'm thinking of a retirement from a job, or you're leaving because you're thinking you're going to be going on to something new. So some of you may have wanted this change, very much so, but some of you I don't think did. I'm sort of reading into two different storylines coming in here. This Two of Fire in the past, this is about new contracts. So with this is about creating a new partnership, which is why you're moving on. For some of you, you did get that new opportunity. That's what this here is about. That you were able to successfully work with somebody and that your business, your work was recognized as being top notch. And that's how this happened. And you were being lauded. In this layout, it reads from right to left. So this is your past and this is beneath you. This is the basis of the situation that we're looking at right now. What's undergirding it. So you've had this new partnership or contract and you're moving on in success, but that doesn't mean that you're not experiencing some level of anxiety along the way. Moving forward, we do see some contention. Maybe everybody at home didn't want you to leave that solid job that you had in the past. Maybe they're afraid that you're going to try something new. This is about competing goals. If this is about, some kind of a contract or something you have with other people, it could be that you just got too many opinions going on. And then again, this could indicate an internal conflict as well. And I don't want to rule that out because we've got this anxiety card, the Eight of Air. So if you're feeling some kind of a conflict internally, or if you're getting some heat from the family, like, well, it's less money, or it's, this and that and the other thing, and we knew those people and that was set in stone and blah, blah, blah. Well, sometimes you got to take that leap of faith. You got to move on with it. Now, this card, the Sun card, possible Leo, but it does represent you. So most likely, at least this is how it's coming in, is this has to do with happiness and joy and the ability to grow. You made this move because of a growth opportunity that was necessary. Whether this change was something you chose or whether it was something that was chosen for you, you're making the most of it. And it's actually kind of coming out well. You're kind of coming out smelling like roses in this thing. In spite of any internal doubts that you may be having. And it's human to have those. So be careful. Don't berate yourself for that. There still is some bone of contention, though, as happy as you are to be out of what I'm kind of feeling may have been a toxic environment at your past job, or at least if it wasn't toxic for some of you, it was at least emotionally unrewarding, unfulfilling, or you'd become bored and were feeling complacent. But this Seven of Fire, choosing your battles, defending yourself against other people who have probably way too much permission to give you vocal opinion. I'm hearing that there's some loudmouth people in your environment who are talking about your choices. And I'm hearing a lot of opinionated people. So this can be stand your ground against negative Nancys in your environment, that may not understand your reasons and your decisions. But you're feeling pretty good about it. When you turn off the anxiety and the worry, the rumination, you kind of know what you're doing. And this is going to be a blessing for you. It is going to be a positive thing, is how it looks. Sorry, my adjustments need to be made in my environment here. Okay. What you're hoping for is something that you fall in love with. You're hoping for something to fall in love with. You want to love your job. You want to feel happy. You want to feel joyful. You want to love what you do. Now, for some of you, you may have been in a relationship and broken up with somebody. Possibly that you met somebody new. Possible Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or Leo, and Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Leo, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, because all of those are in here. And for some of you, if this is not a career, there is a romance element in here. Like you cleared something out that wasn't working for you anymore. Like somebody new may have come into your life here. I'm going to put that down for a minute. This looks like you may have had a new opportunity. This can be a business partnership, but it could have been a romantic partnership too. Two people with passion. And you may have had to clear something else, a toxic relationship, and there may have been some anxiety in your life about that because you weren't positive that this was going to be a good move for you. But it really seems to be going well. I mean, you feel victorious in this. This is victory. I can't help but notice the rose petals that are being thrown at this guy on a horse by somebody with long hair down here. So we don't know. It's either punk rock gay guys or heterosexuals. I don't know. I don't really care. It's all cool. People may have opinions on that. They might not like the idea of you breaking up with somebody, like the family. You know how sometimes they get used to your partner, whoever you're with. They get used to that person, even though you're thinking, I need to move on here. But you're feeling happy and good with your decision. You like where you are. And you're hoping that this person's going to be true love coming in. You hope for that. There is going to be some kind of a message of truth. This can indicate some sort of a challenging beginning because air is sword, right? It may be that you got to tell people, something, it's my life. I'm going to date who I like. I don't care if you liked my ex. That's great. You're going to like this new person too. I got to see where it leads. But something wasn't working out in that previous situation. So that would be, for some of you, this is going to be a romantic situation. For others of you, this had to do with some sort of a job or business or career. That was the energy I was initially tapping into. But I do think that there's going to be different soul groups that are listening to that based on whatever you're going through. Like the energy's similar in a sense for a lot of people. It's just how it applies in your unique situation. Because again, this is a general reading. Now let me pull a Healing with the Angels Oracle card. The cards I was working with just now is the Angel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I apologize if I've already done this and just slipped my mind because I'm thinking about other things. Healing with the Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, PhD. And by thinking about other things, I mean, I'm in here. So sometimes it's easy to overlook other stuff when I get going. I get to channeling and it's kind of like, sometimes I'll miss the details about I don't know, somebody, my cat could walk in the room. I might not notice him for 10 minutes, that kind of thing. Some of this grief and contention, if you're dating somebody new, it could be because of the kids. The kids might have liked your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. And they might be giving some grief about that a little. Having opinions, For others of you, maybe not, but you need to let go of something. And maybe it was the parent, the other parent of your children. So again, take it as it resonates. You are asked to pay extra attention to your children or your inner child right now. New children may be coming into your life very soon. I'm hearing birth control if you're not interested in having more kids. This card signals that the angels see your need to play, have fun, and honor your inner child. Perhaps you will play with your own children or grandchildren, or you might enjoy having fun with another adult or doing work that involves helping children. Take some time to ask your inner child, how do you feel, and what would you like to do? Plan an afternoon where you take your inner child on an outing, doing things that allow your playful side to emerge. Swing and slide at the park. Take an afternoon nap. Draw on the sidewalk with chalk or build a sand castle. Now, this idea of playfulness has come up. I know it came up in Capricorn reading. It came up in at least one other reading where people may be riding their stress into tension headache. And it really is, there's a sense too of needing to play and free yourself up. You do have contentious energy in your environment. And coming up ahead, more of same. Defending yourself and standing your ground, against argumentative people. And sometimes we just need to, get silly and laugh about stuff and not take things too darn seriously. Let other people have their issues. Understand that their issues are just that. They are their issues. They're not something you can control or change. We can't control the happiness even of our own kids. It's up to them to be happy. We need to teach them, how to manage their conflicting emotions to the point that they can have access to contentment, right? And part of that means accepting life on life's terms. And that can be really, really tough. Kids want to control things. They don't understand what they can and cannot control. And a lot of adults don't either, because they just want their kids to be happy. Well, you may not have a choice in that, right? You set them up to thrive, and to teach them about life. And sometimes that's going to be as good as it gets. But be sure you're taking care of your internal needs. And when you can be silly and when you can have fun, your inner child is going to be feeling that much better. And you're going to be able to sort of roll with the punches of life. And some of this squabbling stuff from other people, this won't seem quite so important when you can just cut back and laugh or say, okay, have your bad mood. It's not about me. You're having your own dialogue about your issues and your problems, and it's your problem to solve it, right? I coach you quickly, briefly, and I step back and let you do your own thing, But overall, a very positive reading, as we clear different things, when we're making big changes, that means that we're allowing for new things to come in. And that's when we can really connect with the things that bring us the most joy, that make us feel the most truly who we are. So, and can help us radiate too, like the sun.